Hello and welcome back to episode 7 of Quantum Break. I'm Vic, and you're watching yet another Let's Play channel. So I'm pretty sure this is where we left off. I did have to shoot these two guys again, so they're probably not lying in the same places. And I don't think that we've checked this out yet, so let's start with some more reading. Beth, they're saying that William and Jack Joyce have both been detained. Did you manage to get to William first? Did he reveal the location of the countermeasure? You said you could get Jack out of there. What happened? Interesting developments over here. With the team focused on the university op, I managed to dig through an old email correspondence between Paul Serene and Dr. Kim. The content of the messages is very cryptic, but before he died, Kim was running some kind of tests in his lab, and William's research and a device related to this were somehow connected to what he was doing. Did he know about the countermeasure? I think I need to get into Kim's lab and find out more. But that place has been on restricted access since he died. Not a lot of choice, though. If Jack and William are in custody, then that lab may be our only lead left. I'm just not sure how to do it. I sure as hell can't just ask somebody to let me in there. Fiona, William Joyce is dead. Our only shot at stopping this thing is Jack. He can lead us to the countermeasure. I still believe that. Serene got to Jack first at the university. Too much heat for me to intervene. He's being moved to Ground Zero. I'm following the convoy there and will rescue him once his transport is past security checkpoints. Not going to be easy, but it might be our only shot. Keep Charlie Wincott distracted so he's not looking over the security feeds. My cover won't last much longer. You need to be my eyes on the inside. I agree you should check into Dr. Kim's lab and let me know what you find. I know gaining access will be difficult, but with the gala tonight, you might have a window. Might be able to steal Dr. Amaral's keycard. I will contact you once I'm on the other side. The other side of your cover being blown? What else could it be? Man, so we got a lot of moving parts here. We got Serene, Littlefinger, who's busy doing what he thinks he can to save the world. We've got, his main go-to guy, whose name is escaping me. Which way am I supposed to be going? Alright, I don't want to go that way. Who seems to be scheming to, steal the company out from under him for his own purposes. And then we've got Beth and her co-conspirators that are busy doing their thing. Alright. Give that to me.
Alright.
Cool. I have not yet gone back to collect that one. I'm pretty sure I missed in the previous episode. But I probably will. That is, I think, a sort of frustrating difference between this and Control is the openness in Control is a lot more to my liking. But I get that it's not everybody's thing. Are those letters? I don't recognize those. Weird transitions between the,
Yeah.
Jack, you have to understand that Will forced my hand.
What the hell happened to you?
There's no use fighting.
You killed him!
I'll explain when the time is right. You'll meet me tonight at the Monarch Gala.
Gala? Time's ending and you're having a fucking party.
Because when time ends, my plan...
We do this now. I'm not meeting
Yes,
you at...
you are. I've already seen it happen.
Seen what? What's this all for?
Goodbye, Jack.
No!
Forgot what I was saying. I like how the fact that there are these temporal stutters kind of excuse all of the weird little physics glitches and stuff that crop up. It's like, oh well, time's broken. That's part of the game. It's a feature. Oh, here we go. Hatch. That's the name of the guy. I couldn't remember. Sir, I've been thinking about Liam Burke. I know you've worked closely with him for a while now, and he's been useful. But there are assignments we can't use him for because of his insufficient security clearance. For instance, having to keep him in the dark about much of what will happen at the university, about the stutters we're expecting and where it'll lead, makes him a far less effective field operative than I'd prefer, and causes quite a bit of logistical difficulty, given that he's still going to be a part of the operation. And frankly, it feels like wasted potential. I'd like you to consider the possibility of bringing Burke into the fold. He's completed most of the Striker training, and even though he didn't finish the program, he made an impression on me as a tremendously capable asset. His service record is exemplary, and he has a well-earned reputation as somebody who gets things done, no questions asked. By the same token, I would love to include Burke in our long-term plans. We could use a man like him in our corner, and I could deploy him far more effectively. Clarice, I understand why you consider Mr. Burke an asset to our future plans. Unfortunately, while he is an exceptional individual, he is less suitable for the kind of duties you have in mind than may be immediately obvious. I'll explain. Yes, he's been trained as a striker, but Mr. Burke was disqualified, and for good reason. The men we've chosen to be strikers have strict physical requirements, a certain moral flexibility, and the kind of killer instinct you have to be born with, cultivated to a fine degree. A ferocious knack for survival. Mr. Burke certainly has these qualities. He wasn't disqualified from the Striker program because he lacked them, or because he couldn't wrap his head around the technical aspects of operating the technology. In fact, his performance was exceptional, so I fully agree with you that he's an impressive operative. But Strikers, by their very nature, have to be made aware of Project Lifeboat and its purpose, at least on a general level, and that means they have to be able to accept its implications. Unfortunately, Mr. Burke has a deep attachment to his wife, and the fact is that even if we brought Mr. Burke in, that wouldn't guarantee a spot for her in the program. To be blunt, we don't need any more nurses, and we're already at capacity overall. We need Mr. Burke, but we don't need his wife. Mr. Burke would never accept that, particularly now that Mrs. Burke is pregnant. Therefore, it's vital that he doesn't understand the nature and scope of the threat we face. As for having him play a role in other aspects of future developments, I suspect that despite his seemingly amoral nature, Mr. Burke may have other qualms he's not consciously aware of. If he ever has to truly make a choice between conflicting loyalties, he may take a stand on principle and elect to act against his own best interests. That's not a chance I'm willing to take. That's a remarkable degree of frankness. And it's just sitting here, practically out in the open. I only had to kill a few people to get here. Okay, we're at the dry docks. Any minute now, somebody's going to start shooting at us. Oh, did I miss one? Oh, there are several in the area. I might have missed that one. Really? That looks very close to the one that I picked up. It's super close to the one I picked up. Was there more for me to do in here? Am I supposed to get up there? I'm supposed to get up there, aren't I? Come on, dingbat. Climb that thing. Climb this thing. Hit your head on it. That is not terribly useful. Ruin Noir. Doesn't seem to say anything backwards either. Alright, I'm moving on. I'll come back and get him later. It's just not fun to watch me flail around and talk to myself about how I'm flailing around. And I know, because I have to edit these videos. Hell, most of the time I'm the only one who does watch them. It's very quiet. There's no background music or anything. It's an interesting choice. What do we got? Is this another email exchange? Oh, that's a lot of text. Martin, first of all, I have to again register my objection. What you are having me do under the guise of a psych evaluation is a blatant violation of Liam Burke's doctor-patient confidentiality. And the only reason I'm doing this is because you leave me no other choice. Now, I recognize that in the world to come, our current rules and legislation, even our standards of morality, may no longer be applicable. But we aren't there yet. You and Mr. Serene are placing the long-term mental well-being of hundreds of individuals in my hands, and I'm telling you right now, if they don't trust not only me, but the system that put all of us in our particular positions, there's no way we can recover from it. On to Burke. It is my considered professional opinion that the man is a bit of a powder keg. For all his calm exterior, he's under tremendous pressure. I understand your reasoning for pulling him out of the Stryker program, but what you have essentially done is instill in him a sense of encroaching doom. He doesn't know the specifics, obviously. He didn't make it far enough in the program to be briefed on that. But he knows that we're preparing for a future threat that is somehow related to the flow of time being interrupted. And that there are dangers out there. Dangers that we have been specifically training the Stryker units for. There are men who are content to merely follow orders and let others worry about the consequences. Burke is not one of them. He's willing to commit acts of violence without asking why. But don't mistake that lack of qualms for blind obedience. Burke needs agency. He has a fundamental need to feel in control of his life, and you've put in a position where that's no longer possible for him. He's good at seeing patterns and drawing accurate conclusions from the facts available to him, and he's deduced, quite correctly, that he was being trained for a specific scenario that Monarch believes will happen. He's also painfully aware of the fact that if and when that scenario he arrives, he will not be a part of the solution. He understands the nature of the Stryker suits, that they are only useful in a zero-state situation, and he understands that in such a situation, a man without a Stryker suit is essentially dead. He doesn't know about the lifeboat protocol, obviously, but if he did, he'd then also know that he's not a part of it. Either way, the bottom line is that he's in a hopeless situation. He fears that the end of the world is coming, and he knows that if it does, the only way he could survive is with the technology Monarch has denied him access to. He doesn't understand the details, or even the exact nature of that end of the world, but that just makes it worse. Fear and lack of understanding breed tremendous anxiety, Mr. Hatch. He may not show it, but believe me, Burke feels it. For himself and for his family. It may interest you to know that his wife is pregnant. You can understand how that adds to his pressure. To be honest, given the parameters we're operating under, I don't know how to resolve this. In Burke, you have a tremendously efficient operative, but you put him in an impossible position. I believe he will remain effective as long as he doesn't have reason to believe the scenario he fears is imminent. But once he believes it has arrived, all bets are off. That is, unless you can give him hope of survival, but at this point, resentment and suspicion are starting to turn into paranoia, and frankly, I'm not sure he would trust either of us anymore. And speaking of trust, I recommend you think about what I said in my opening paragraph, Martin. Our greatest challenge and greatest assets in the subjective years to come won't be technological, but all too human. Don't make the mistake of seeing people as just entries on a spreadsheet. Well, buddy, it sounds like a pretty reasonable assessment, but I don't think that's really what Hatch wanted from you. Is there another one out? There is another one out here, isn't there? I spotted it earlier. Yeah. Is it in there? Oh, it's right there. Good. Well, at least we won't miss this one. These Chronons hang out in strange places. They're always, like, stuck to something. Not just free-floating. I wonder why that is. What up, fools? So I looked up Amy Ferrero. She checks out pretty much how you'd expect. Good grades, no student loans because daddy's got money. Popular. The classic I'm better than you because I care so much package. Not so much anything even remotely useful in a world where you gotta work for a living. She's into this whole activist lifestyle, always protesting this or that and generally just hugging every tree and saving every whale she sees. Yawn. On average, she signs 2 petitions a week and generally spends half her life sticking her nose in other people's shit. Credit where it's due, she's pretty good at it. Also, she's got a lot of friends who are into all this stuff. And she seems to be real good at getting them coordinated. Kinda makes her perfect for our purposes. Because if you can talk her into saying what we want, there's a lot of folks who are going to listen. No boyfriend, no girlfriend. I don't know which way she swings. Why doesn't she put that on the internet? Doesn't she know that's what it's for? But there's that family of hers. Looks like she's got real close ties. So if we need leverage, that's where you'll find it. You may want to make sure she stays on our side, though. Like I said, she's pretty popular with the rest of these people. And if they get the idea she's been screwed over, they just might get pretty mad. You know how these neo-hippie, bleeding heart hipster types are, always up in arms about something. Holy shit, I'm glad I'm not in school anymore, Charlie. Yeah, buddy, I bet you didn't do very well socially in school. Don't want a shotgun, carrying an SMG. Do I want it or the rifle? I'll stick with the SMG, I guess. I did take it from those Striker boys, so that makes it cool. That's a narrow fit for a helicopter.
Sir. Damn it!
Don't.
Well, that's a big mess he just made. That's a real big mess. Good time for a stutter.
Oh, shit. Focus, Jack. Gotta move. Come on.
Off we go. Well, I don't like the way it's cycling like that. So what if I do this? Nope. That's not what I'm supposed to do. I still haven't found any hidden quantum ripples, have I? Ah, okay. So we gotta do a Q.
Focus, Jack.
Q for quantum break. I just thought of that in episode 7. Now we're out. Can I climb up here? I can. Does that do me any good? Not sure it does. Do I need to have another look around? I don't know what else I should be doing except for what I already tried. Yeah, that really doesn't do anything for me. Okay. That really didn't change it at all, did it? Alright, let's just go for it. Oh, if only I could remember how to dash. Which button is dash? It's gotta be shift or control. Whichever one I wasn't hitting just now.
Okay.
Up you go. There it is. Okay. And go. Go. Okay.
Stutters were getting bad. He's shifting back and forth without warning. At the time, I didn't think it could get much worse.
But we both know it did.
I'm pretty sure I have to go through there. Not far enough. Squish. It's kind of too bad that this doesn't have really gory Dead Space style deaths, because there would be lots of opportunities for pretty gnarly ones. There's that. Now we go.
Stutters were getting bad. He's shifting back and forth without warning. At the time, I didn't think it could get much worse.
But we both know it did.
That's gotta hurt.
Get up on the... Why? Really? What if... Oh, now you'll climb on it. Oh. And then...
Need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jesus! Cutting a little close, Jack.
Well, I don't really have a lot of options,
It's like a
Jack.
goddamn maze in here.
Time for a bit of this action? Nope, we're just doing some more platforming. Alright, I'm not a big fan of the platforming where Jack doesn't do the platforming. I imagine we're going to see more of this. Just have to make the best of it, I
Okay.
guess.
Keep going. Hit. No, not again. Okay, there we go. Gotta move. Time to move.
Hey, where did they come from? Oh, it does work on him. That's interesting. Maybe not very well. Man, I should have stuck with the assault rifle, I think. He seems to be always reloading when I'd like for him to be shooting. Which has got to mean that it's got a really small clip, which doesn't make sense. Alright, once more into the firefight.
No, not again.
And it goes down. And then it's going to go back up, and there's going to be a fight. Yup.
Oh,
Man, and they're throwing grenades right out the gate. Did they do that before?
right here.
Why weren't you showing up in my vision? Hmm? Gotta remember to do that more. Why isn't it doing the move?
Gotta move.
Still got some more? Yes. Okay.
Beth had been on her way to meet me. I expected she was frozen somewhere up there, by the side of the dry dock.
Thank you. Doesn't seem like that small of a clip. Oh, but it fires bursts of 3 and not full auto. That's probably part of the problem. Is Beth frozen somewhere? Well, she was frozen in the last stutter. So she probably doesn't have whatever the gear is called. Oh, hi, Beth.
Exact words or don't do anything stupid.
I've never been a great listener.
Well, time to start. Get in.
What if I don't trust you?
Then shoot me.
Look, I'm sorry, but I'm taking the van.
That's for not listening to me back there.
Ow.
Rude.
You want to stop time from breaking down? You need my help. And thanks, by the way, for the +1 in the back seat. It's starting to feel like goddamn babysitter.
Babysitter? You kidding me? I got good intel off that computer. Bitch.
My ride, my music. Deal with it.
Who the fuck are you people?
Well, she's Monarch, and I'm a superhero. Thought you would have been able to work that out. Are we going to get to watch another episode of TV show now? Is that going to take up like all of episode 8? I think it might. If this loading screen doesn't. Man. Stop or avoid unstable objects. But you don't get to pick which one. You can't use your powers to stop the unstable objects that you're supposed to be avoiding. That's a little disappointing.
What led you to the swimming hall?
Oh, Will said there was something important in his briefcase. All I found was a key with Bradbury Swimming Hall on the chain. Only lead we had. I guess this is it.
This building's been shut down for years.
Perfect place to hide something you don't want found.
Yup.
I think it's time you tell me what you know.
I know your brother built the one thing that can stop the fracture. I know we're meant to find it, and I know Monarch doesn't want us to.
And yet you're wearing their uniform.
I like the way their pants fit.
Yeah, I bet you like the paycheck, too.
Tried to create a cover to gather information. You've known about this for a few hours. I've been preparing for it for most of my life.
You weren't aware that William owned the place?
There's a lot I didn't know about Will.
We need to find your brother's countermeasure. And fast. Things will get worse as the fracture progresses. And Monarch will be turning Riverport over looking for you.
And we'll learn more about that, and whatever exciting item is stashed in a swimming pool, in Episode 8 of Quantum Break. Talk to you soon.